Hi guys, and welcome. I am finally, coming to YouTube. Finally coming to YouTube and kind of just testing the waters with this thing. But I want this month to start documenting some of my favorite woman moments. Whatever that means, we'll find out throughout the month, but I think it's worth having a story time each time I have a really interesting woman moment. So I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you like and subscribe. I hope you comment with your woman moments this month and throughout the month as this, as this idea of mine kind of plays out on YouTube. So anyway, my sweet anecdote comes from yesterday. In the theme and spirit of Women's Day, I have been spoiling myself rotten, okay? And I have no shame, even though I know I might cry about it at the end of the month. But my plan for Women's Month is to be kind to myself, is to take myself out, is to take care of myself, is to spoil myself. So yesterday, I was walking in Claremont because I lost my wallet. Somewhere in my many travels, I lost my wallet, and it was time to buy a new one. So I had gone to Claremont hoping to find a new one, and I happened to pass by one of the braiding stalls in the street. Now, we all know that it is very common to see, people who are braiding hair advertised in the street, but what I didn't know was that not only do they do the hair in the street, but if you ask, then usually there's a salon nearby that they work with. And so as I'm kind of just gazing at these hairstyles that, obviously speaking, they're just pictures on the wall, so I'm very skeptical, and I have natural hair, so it's always been a question of, can they braid my hair without damaging it? Can they help a sister out? So anyway, and she says that, she can braid my hair, and, she can braid me right then and there. No questions asked, no nothing. I'm like, I'm a bit skeptical, I'm a bit iffy about it. And she just kind of walks me through it very patiently, but still very, clear that she's trying to make her money. And she tells me it's going to be 200 Rand, and, that I just have to buy the hair, and it'll take 2 hours max. And I'm like, okay, it's sounding just very too good to be true. And then I'm like, okay, do you make house calls? Because I see this tent, I see this chair, and I'm like, I'm not I'm not gonna do it. This is obviously before I knew about the salon thing. And she goes, oh no, don't worry, I can take you to a salon. And I was like, really? You have one? Because I didn't know that this was common practice. And in that moment, as I'm walking with her down the street, we make a left into some dingy, gated, trash is, in the alleyway, whatever. And then, we round the corner, and there's this African dressmaking shop on the one half. And then there's these, two other women braiding hair on the other. And so, obviously, when my braider arrived and joined, there were the three, braiders. And the woman who was seated getting her hair done, very personable, very sweet, very kind. And it later came out in conversation that, the women who were doing the braiding were all Zimbabwean. And I don't know if you guys watched Sex and the City when they went to Dubai. Okay, so spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, stop this video right now. Just subscribe before you do. Anyway, when Samantha dropped condoms in the middle of the market and caused a frenzy, and the girls had to rush out and find, and escape these women who were, wearing the veil, kind of signaled to them come in here. And throughout the movie, it had been very clear that there was this lack of understanding of the women who wore the veil, and this, desire to comprehend why, but then also acknowledging the fact that they were really stylish at the same time, and but the characteristics of the women who wore the veil versus Samantha and her friends were very, very different. But anyway, they obviously need to escape this frenzy in the market that Samantha has kind of gotten started, and they follow this woman into this back room, and then the women disrobe, and underneath are these designer beautiful, beautiful garments in bright colors. And Carrie just had this like, oh my God, I've arrived moment. And this is a moment that we're all equals, and we're all one, and we're all the same. Quite literally, when I walked into that salon, as much as it was clear that I was different, or that I'm American, and I don't speak South African languages very well anyway. Even though my parents are South African, I just didn't grow up here for my formative years. Even though I was different to these women, even though I lived well above the poverty line in comparison to them having to work so hard to stay away from it. Even the woman who was seated next to me, who was very comfortable with saying, I'm a housewife, and getting her hair done, and getting her nails done, and getting her eyebrows done. Even though we were all so different, for me, walking in and just kind of being a woman who needed to get her hair done, and who needed to treat herself nicely and put herself onto something cute and something new, for me, in that moment, we were all the same.